All right, gang, are you ready to get writing this week? Okay, I'm looking in the syllabus, and I still can't believe how fast this quarter has gone. I mean, I say that all the time, and I'm starting to feel like my elders when they would tell me how fast time goes as you get older. But I definitely am feeling it. I'm looking right now at what we've got due. Last week we were setting the stage for our illustration essay. Trust me, this has nothing to do with your artistic ability. Some of you are relieved by this. I know I would be. My artistic ability ends and begins in music, so I'm not very good at illustrative work, okay? So basically what we're going to be doing this week is taking all of those essays that you read, and those essays use illustrations, by the way. That's part of the reason they were chosen for this unit. And we're going to take your discussions that you had and all these things that are going on in your brain. You're going to choose two sources and use those sources to propel forward an original argument in which you use your illustrative skills. In other words, your ability to bring in scenarios, anecdotes, or examples to support your work. You're going to use all of that, use two sources, synthesize those sources, in other words, bring those sources together to create an illustration essay, or an essay that uses illustration. Again, an original argument, at least two sources, and use illustration as your support, or at least as one of your supports. I've had some time to look through your discussion board posts in the past when you've edited each other's work. And I just want to really emphasize to you the importance of giving critical feedback. I don't mean that in a negative way. I think sometimes in today's society that whenever something is said to be critical, we immediately go that it was cynical or antagonistic, and that's not what I mean by critical feedback here in this context. What I mean is that you would give your the person whose paper you're evaluating a fair amount of your time to help them really see something in their writing that they can improve. I'm going to guess that most of you don't need an attaboy or an attagirl. You know what you've done well. But what we really need from one another is that set of fresh eyes to give us a different perspective. Have you thought of doing this? Or, I feel like this is missing. Or, I'm not sure I understand your thesis. Hey, what about this idea? You know, those kinds of things. It might be at an idea level. It might be at a grammar level. You know, that person might have even asked you to look at something very specific. And I'm just asking that you really take some time to do that. It's a very important part of this process. For those of you who have had that experience where someone's given you some valued feedback, I've noticed on your feedback forms to me you've said, the person who evaluated my paper told me this, and I think I really got it this time. And it's exciting to have that kind of aha moment. So we're going to make sure we critically evaluate. Put your rough draft out there early enough that people can evaluate it. Some of you are waiting to the 11th hour, and I get that, but that doesn't give your classmates very much time to give you any feedback. It doesn't have to be a complete rough draft out there for editing. Something, though, that they can kind of chew on and give you some thoughts on. Okay, so if you look in your course content material, that's where you're going to find some thoughts on how to synthesize more effectively. I have a funny little Calvin and Hobbes in there too. I hope you enjoy that. Do go through the course content information here, as I'm just noticing there's some good writing tips in it. Some of them might be a little bit repetitive, but I think overall it could really help you in the drafting process. So I'm not going to reread all of that to you right now. You can do that on your own time, but do visit the course content to see some things you should be thinking about as you write this paper. As always, I'm available for questions during the week. I try to check in at least once a day to see your questions on discussion board, on the general questions section, or your questions by mail, and I try to answer those promptly. So please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week of writing. Bye-bye.